Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today we have an interview with Lou Komornik, and she is an incredible human being. And I have met her about 10 months ago. And she is, for me, a very classic lady, but at the same time, she's like walking encyclopedia. She knows so much about everything. She's always self educating herself and others with greatest kindness. And she's one of the people that I have met that truly has one of the biggest, the kindest heart that she wants to help everyone. And it is my privilege and honor today to host you, Mary Lou, in this mini interview. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mary Lou is the person who 10 months ago decided to step into a 6-month VIP program. It's a 10K program where we look at your wellness at 360 degrees and we tailor this specifically to your needs. So if it's your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual wellness, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's adjustment of and bringing more flourishing into the life. And we started to work with Mary Lou specifically with some physical challenges that she has been experiencing in life for a quite long time. So those are chronic elements in her life. But unexpectedly, she has gone beyond. First, she's doing the practices. I know that it's doing the homework, sometimes life gets in the way and we say, well, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it on the next day. And then the whole year passes by and we're still looking for another day to do something. So Mary Lou is the one who really printed out all the homework and she is finding the way to create and accelerate wellness within herself and within her family. So, um, without any further ado, Mary Lou, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell me how your life was before you met me and why you decided to really say yes to join the program even though you basically didn't know anything about me, but you chose to take a next step to get to the next better version of Mary Lou Komornik.
Well, first, I want to say hi and thank you for Nadia Rose for taking me on as a client. I am very pleased to work with her. My life was very complicated before all of this. There were a lot of questions I had in my life. I wanted to know why things were going this. I would work very hard at trying to fix things, saying a lot of prayers, asking God for help, trying to, fix what I believe was going wrong in my life. I wasn't getting many answers or results, and I couldn't really figure out why or what to do or how to fix these. And I was very thankful that I met Nadia at a conference so that I could try to understand and better my life. So I'm quite the organizer on a lot of stuff. So when she did the recordings, I sat for hours and I hand typed everything in the recording so that I wouldn't forget because I'd had chemical exposure in the past and it was very hard for me to remember things. So when I started typing these up, it was just easy for me to take this with me and if I was in the car with my spouse or a family member, I could sit in the car and repeat this stuff to myself. Or on when I was on my way to work, if we got stuck in traffic, I could open my book and start repeating all of the messages that I was supposed for the spiritual um help. And so I just found that it was very relaxing and informative. And then 3 days after I met Nadia and we started this, I got my first acceptance for a job when I've been putting in for jobs for years. And I mean, I've run I can't even tell you how many applications I put into stuff and I hadn't really gotten any responses. And then she had mentioned she didn't think the job was quite right for me. I really was taking it because I wanted out of where I was currently at, but I wasn't. I knew this really wasn't the job that I wanted. And but I was willing to take it and I guess go through it until I could find the right job for me. And then a few months later, it was probably because that was in February. And then I just received and was told that I had been selected for a new job that is so much more up my alley of what I want to do. And I'm very excited. I will be starting that job at the end of this month. And it's a new position that is just created in this company. So I will be the first one to do it. So I'm very, very excited and I can't wait to start the new job. But my
Wow.
but my family was very happy for me. They were just like, "Mom, we're so excited for you. It's been a long time coming."
Absolutely. Yeah, and that whole journey that, like stepping into, I love the way that you still didn't know the whole story, but you trusted the process. Like when we did, let's talk about a little bit about the spiritual readings, like Akashic record readings, like predicting the future. How did this serve you and your family now that we look at? Because probably at first it was a little bit funny, even like your daughter's due date, what the doctor said, and the reality when the God decided it was a different due date. So when did you step into the process of trusting working with me more? Because it's a little bit different from what you have been doing for so many years, and yet you chose to step in and trust the process.
So it was nice to get a little validation because my daughter was pregnant this past year and she didn't want to tell us because she wanted it to kind of be this secret. And we had went to a golf tournament and she was really moody and stuff like this. And I told my husband, I said, I know she's pregnant. I know she's not telling us. And so she finally told us in January that she was pregnant. And I said, "So what day did the doctor tell you the baby was going to come?" And he gave her a number. And I said, "That number is wrong." From the moment she told me, I said, "That is not the day the baby will be born." I said, "Tell the doctor he has to reconfigure. He's completely off." And it was really nice to talk to Nadia because she confirmed that I was correct, and I felt like because numbers are my thing, and when he said the 25th, I said it's either the 18th, 19th, or 20th, and I really kind of felt like from the very beginning in January, and the baby wasn't due to May, that it was going to be the 18th. I felt that in my heart from the moment that she told me, and so that was nice. And so I guess it was harder for me to get her to understand because I knew when I was pregnant with my children years ago that I knew within 4 hours of conception that I was told that I was having a little girl and when she would be born. And so I didn't understand when my daughter didn't get the same response. I kept going, "Are you sure someone didn't tell you? Did they not talk to you? Are you sure?" I kept asking her the whole time she was pregnant, "Did somebody talk to you yet?" And she's like, "No, mom, they didn't say anything yet." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm just telling you, this is when the baby's going to come." And so when it got closer to her due date, I kept going, "I need to come down there early because you're going to be, your husband is supposed to travel to a conference and you're going to be by yourself." And she goes, "Mom, I'll be okay." And of course, the baby came when I said the baby was going to come. And she calls me and she says, I had a little girl and I was like so excited. Her husband was on the plane waiting and flying back from the conference for the delivery. So he completely missed the delivery. But I was very, I guess I was just very in tune. And I've always kind of been in tune with my body and over my entire lifetime, just knowing simple things. And then a few months later, after the baby was I just felt like something was terribly wrong with my daughter, and I didn't know what was wrong with her, but I just felt like it was life and death. And then when she went to the hospital, I said, "I think you really need to go to the doctor." And she went to the hospital and her appendix was going to rupture. And so again, and I knew for a week before the whole thing happened, I just didn't know what it was. So I trust in Nadia and I ask her questions, and and if she needs to ask above her, then she goes to somebody else and talks to them. So it's kind of a chain of command type thing, and everybody trusts the next level up, and we just keep going until we get an answer. Because that's my big thing. So my daughter's really like, she doesn't really like to talk about things that are really sad or death or anything like this. But we now have an agreement that when I have these feelings, that I can tell her that it's a crisis mode and that she needs to be paying attention, because that's the thing. She was like, "Mom, don't scare me," or whatever. But now she understands, because she went through this appendix thing, that it was something that was very dangerous and that she needed to know, but I wasn't sure she could handle it. And it's just, it's nice to know that these feelings that I have, that I don't know where they come from, that they are truly like another sense, and that you need to listen to these senses when your body's telling you, so that you can stay out of danger and you can stay safe and that you stay blessed. So and I'm looking forward to how my future is going to exponentially increase and how we are going to have a wonderful life.
Absolutely. This is um what everybody wants, regardless, of where we are, what we have been through. And it seems like there's lots of turmoil, is happening with people, lots of unexpected, sudden diagnosis, like truly chaotic circumstances in life. And Mary Lou, I would like to ask you if you have noticed any changes in peace in your heart, because one of the program that we pay really big attention is, I believe that when there is a harmony within a person, your heart stays peaceful. There is no play to the bother or overreaction to what is happening, and that includes into behavior of negative thoughts, distraction, judgmental thoughts, rave of anger, even like irritation. It could be internal or external. As we were focusing to really help you to deal and transform your chronic health conditions, did you notice any difference how this help you or change your also internal behaviors, like your thoughts, your words, your actions, contributing to the peace of the heart, processing the information, especially processing when the new challenges are coming in your life, or processing negativity coming to your life? Are you able to deal with it differently than the old patterns that you kind of coped with?
So I know that try not to be so judgmental, because I always wonder why people are not in tune with their bodies. It's I guess I thought that more people would pay attention to what's going on in their bodies, but when I ask them questions, most of them have no idea why this or that's happening, or why they feel this or that way. They don't they don't take the time to process those thoughts and how it's affecting their day-to-day life. So I challenge them to think about, you know, those thoughts, that whether it creates anger or happiness or sadness or exhilaration or whatever, so that they can understand the same kind of things that I'm doing. And so by I really work very hard on not judging people, because it's just, I because I spend almost every single day in education mode. as Nadia will tell you, I'm learning something new each and every day, and I always try to pass on this information, no matter how trivial, to anyone or everyone. Yesterday it was about purses or perfume. So it doesn't matter. And it was really funny because it was two kids and their dad, and the two children, one of them being 14 and I think that the other one was 16, said mom would be so excited that I was learning something, and I wasn't even balking at it, and I was just excited, and I learned about purses, something I would have never learned. And even their dad was like, he thought that was so cool. He goes, "Look, you're getting an education on how a purse was created in what generation." And so it's nice when people appreciate those simple things. Uh, and I tell people all the time, if they have a question and they want to ask me, a lot of times I will give them my number or something to that effect. And I'll say, just call me or text me. And then if I don't know the answer, I will tell you that I don't know the answer. But then I will go research it. And then I will, if I find an answer or I find something that can help you, I will text it right back and say, go check out this site, go check out that. See if that's something you're interested in. Maybe this will help you. Talk to this person, you know? So I do like to help people, you know, I that's my thing. My name means defender of the weak, and so if somebody doesn't have an answer, I try to help them and support them and make them stronger and have more confidence in life, because confidence is how everybody sees you. And if you are a person that lacks confidence, other people are aware of it and they don't always want to be around you. So if I can help you increase your confidence and recognize your confidence that you are God's child, that you're wanted on this earth or he wouldn't have put you here, then let's make you a better person for you, not for me, for you.
And we call it a heart of service. And Marilu, you are definitely one of them. Now I want to loop back to and we don't have to go into like into deep details about it, but you know, the main reason we actually started to have a conversation is because of your health challenges. And they were pretty dramatic, like very inconvenient day-to-day life. You as a married woman, um, as a mother, as such a social person, um, where are you at this moment? How has it been this 9 month of um, liberating and transforming your life with all the tools that we kind of gather together and tailor them so you can receive most benefit? What would you say through this process? How are you now feeling?
I am feeling a different one is I've lost a lot of weight in the last few months. And so that has made my life a lot easier. My movements and stuff like that, focusing more on the what I need to do to prepare for a situation or a medical condition, to be aware, more aware of it, so that if I need to need to do something to prevent it or whatever, or reduce the issue, I'm working on steps to increase my fullness in life. I guess that's a good way to put it. You know, I think about it more often. Okay, this is going on. So what do I need to do to make sure we don't have an issue? You know, and be better prepared for whatever the things that I do know that I have no control over.
Has it been easier for you since the past 9 months?
Yeah, because I focus on it a little bit more, and I go I prepare for it instead of waiting to the last second and then going, oh, then I have an issue that I can't fix. So I think about it quicker, and I'm like, okay, I have to get up and I have to go do this real quick so that I don't have an incident that I don't want to have to take care of.
And how do you like your weight loss?
Oh, I love it, but I wish I lost more weight.
Well, you have to activate those more because what I'm noticing, as I am practicing first, like I gained weight because there's so much light. It's actually, you feel like kind of like puffy at first, but then as you practice, your light gets more condensed within you. So then the energy through our meridians, they run smoother. So what is happening, it's almost like um, we have free space now of letting go of that extra weight, bloating, like heaviness that we oftentimes experience, like when we have physical challenges, especially in life. It we physically experiencing as like just heaviness of our bodies, and then as we practice, it just becomes lighter and lighter. And most people also experience the weight loss, which is another unexpected bonus. But I would really like to compliment you on working into the point, doing your homework to the point where um, I see you at least 5 years younger, at least. And I know because life gets in the way and you're not practicing as often as you should have, then you would have seen the signs of aging transformation at a different pace. So you may not see it, but maybe you have been receiving compliments from your friends, and they may not identify it as exactly like, oh, like Marilu lost weight, or but they said there's something about you, like you're glowing or like you're shining. Like people usually cannot put finger on it, but they know that you're different. So what's your friends and family's observation?
Well, some of the people, like even today when I was out, somebody goes, "Hello, skinny," and I thought that was really nice. It's funny because it's a few people that will say that, that they think I look so much nicer. And then one gentleman said, "Well, just don't lose your calves because they're so nice." And I thought that was so funny that he looked at my calves. But it's nicer, it's easier to go to the store and be able to buy clothes because now I can fit into a regular size, and I don't have to struggle with, oh, there's never anything in my size. And it's nice to be able to, to go into the regular departments and find something that I'm happy with, and then I'm comfortable when I try it on. Oh wow, this fits nice. I look good in this.
Yeah, versus then trying to buy something that oversized and covers up things that you kind of don't want to look at.
Yes.
I hear you. I was doing the same thing. So I myself have lost 7 pounds. And yeah, so I really started to work with the Tao calligraphy. Um, and that is truly helping me to move the energy, like that stagnated energy within my meridians, within my body, and even like my knees, my joints, even they started to feel so much lighter. Of course, I do take like omega and I do take magnesium and vitamin C to contribute, but also there's so many things that we were not told by Western medicine as just simply it just a medicine oriented also only. But there's so much out there that is available as alternative way to complement and create a better outcome for our well-being.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. It's it's amazing when you look at yourself as a whole, and not just follow one protocol, but take Western medicine and holistic medicine and make a connection between them and find out what works best for you so that you get the best outcome and the highest um uh results, because that's kind of my thing. I'm like, my husband and I, our goal, we're trying to live to 120, maybe 132 is kind of our goal. And I said, God willing, we'll get there. And So I tell people that just remember that don't forget your financial plan. So if you're when your money, you got to have enough money. If you live that long, you got to have enough money to support that. So make sure you include that when you're working on your whole life challenges.
Absolutely. And it's much easier to prevent challenges than to support them and kind of deal with them in the long run. Because the number one that I see people before working with me and after, since the negative information of the sickness is being transformed, then the body automatically stops wasting their time on repairing itself all the time. So then I feel like people life started to get easier, like people look younger, they even live longer. It's just because their body is not burdened by maintaining and repairing nonstop by all these chronic health conditions that people are dealing nonstop. And that is very exhausting. It's exhausting for the human being, but also for our whole system as one. It's very like it's like overworking system that doesn't have a break. And we need a break, and we need to stay healthy. That's the only way when we can dare to dream about living longer. If we're wasting so much time on repairing our bodies, on maintaining our health challenges so it doesn't get worse. So it's very difficult to even dream to live longer. But then, if the transformation happens within the body, then the possibilities are kind of coming in. That was my next question, actually, that I wanted to say. I wanted to ask you, like, what is your future look like? Like, and you already said, my husband and I and the whole family kind of want to live a long life, and that's a good desire. And it's very possible. Just continue to do your work because what I say to people who are able to transform through practices a chronic condition, it's not enough to just feel better and gain the strength and transform the chronic conditions, but you need to continue to do your daily work because the accumulation of positive or negative energy, they still will be happening. It's We are electromagnetic fields, so we are either the field contains negative information or the positive information. So we are every day choosing, are we choosing positive thoughts, are we choosing think good about people? Are we choosing actions that are good for other people and myself? So it's not like a downstream. So every day by choices we make outlines the future. And it's not easy at first, but then as you practice and as you develop the muscle uh, to do it differently, then you are sooner and sooner going to meet a better version of yourself. And that's just really incredible. So before we wrap up, Mary Lou, I wanted to share maybe a few things with other people who are suffering from various challenges in their life, and they probably have tried other alternative things that promise them great results, but yet haven't created the desired outcomes that they were wishing. So they're really cautious and suspicious and not trusting. Um, you're the person who kind of was skeptical about it, and then you kind of jumped in, and then now you're enjoying the process and you're exciting more and more to meet a different version of yourself. And let's have this conversation 6 months from now, how different you are going to be, how younger you're going to look, how much more weight you're going to lose, your health condition transforming further, your life circumstances changing for a better life. What would be your words to support and serve other people who have not received um, the results yet in life, and that need this moment of hope.
I think it's for me, it was really important to find the right person to speak with, the right person who understands this, because I know when I've mentioned things in the past to people, they just look at you like you're crazy because you want to fix something, or they don't understand the inner being. Or when I say that, my electromagnetic self, they're like, what are you talking about? I've always said that, like, you have this electromagnetic and like an aura type thing, and they're like, I don't get it. You're speaking another language. And I always felt like, when I had the computer issues, something's off with my electromagnetic aura right now. I don't know why it's acting like this, but we got to fix this. And they just look at like, and I just so then I'm like, then I question myself. What am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? Do I need to fix something? How do I fix this thing? Who can I talk to that can help me through these things? Because that's the biggest thing that I find is I don't have anyone that I can talk to who even understands stuff. And I feel alone out there in the world a lot because I don't have many people that I can sit and talk to that would even listen without them going, oh, she's just crazy. I don't know what to do with her, or they shut down, but they want me to listen to them, which I do, but I just feel like I have no one that I can share my information with on when it comes to stuff like that. So I think that's probably why I spend so much time reading, so that I can try to, solve my own issues and people always say, give it to God. So when a lot of things do go wrong or whatever, I go, God, it's up to you. Because when I was looking for this job, I said, God, either you want me to work or you want me to retire. You just tell me. It's all up to you. It's beyond my control. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but you just tell me, because whatever comes in my future, it's because you're making a choice. And so I guess I do most of the time. I just give it to God, and I tell people all the time, give it to God. If you don't know where you're going, just give it to God, and then work on yourself and things like that. So that's just where I'm at. But I do spend every day learning something new. There's not a day in my life, and if I didn't, I probably would get up in the middle of the night, go read something in a book, and learn something new. And I don't sleep that much, just because I'm always trying to I wish I could just touch the page and learn everything that's on the book in seconds, instead of having to spend hours reading the 3,000 books I have. But I enjoy learning something new.
Absolutely. And it's good to read at our age, because the brain always needs like educational process, right? In order to keep itself younger. Of course, there are other practices for that, but also it creates the sharpness, always learning something new. So the pattern is going to be rewired by learning new things versus then if we're brushing teeth every day and then we are lacking learning different things that is not challenging for our brain. So in this way, you always give an opportunity to nourish your brain from the neuro perspective, right? And it's
Yeah.
it's a skill. It's a skill that you are first of all enjoying it. It's not like, you are forcing yourself. So yeah, it's a great benefit for you. It's a great benefit for others. So I would always say, if you want to if you don't know the information, don't go to search on Google, call Mary Lou. She probably already knows the answer.
That's funny. Just search on Google.
It's true
Right?
though.
It is true for a lot of things.
And last questions. Um Has it been an easier life for you in the past 9 months? What would you say in general? How has it been for you?
Well, it's been a growing phase, so I wouldn't say that it's really been easier. It's just getting through it and the practice. Like sometimes you really have to force yourself to go through the practice because you're like, how many more things do I have to learn? How many, like how many more challenges am I going to have? I'm sick of learning. Some days I go, I'm sick of learning something. I think I've learned all my lessons. How come I have to learn another lesson today? And I do feel like those lessons are unending and they just never end. And so we always have something we have to learn. Um, it is inspirational. I'm just glad that I'm finally moving ahead and life is not quite so miserable as it was because going to work before was it was a dread just getting up every single day. My hair was falling out. I was it I didn't want I would just kind of shut myself off and I didn't really want to speak to people. I didn't want to be around people. I just wanted to be by myself all the time. And now I find myself out a little bit more because I mean there was for a couple time months I would say I would go to work, I would come home, I would go to bed, and I wouldn't talk to me. And a lot of times I just didn't even want to eat because I was just so unhappy with the every aspect of my life. And now I'm getting making myself, go out there and live life and be a part of life again. So that's where I'm at.
That's wonderful. Everybody deserves to look forward, waking up to another day instead of, wow, it's like I cannot wait for the day to finish when it just started. So it is a silent suffering, but many people probably not even recognizing because we all have duties. We have to bring the paycheck home, support the family, and we do lots of things that we do not want. But also, as we are transforming those challenges in life, what I call it, Mary Lou. So now you've learned and you have like different blessings and transmissions. Your field is very different. It's much more brighter and positive. So we all still gonna have challenges, but the only difference with you and I and other human beings who have not been through this transformational uh, program is we have the tools to ride the wave. So instead of like fully diving under the water of these challenges in our life, what happens is we're using the tools to ride the wave to overcome it. And that just becomes much easier and easier. It's not like challenges are gonna disappear completely. Otherwise, we would not be even born on Mother Earth. We would be already saints somewhere up above, and we would be laughing at a version of Nadia and Mary Lou from somewhere. But we are here, and anyone who is listening this, I know that you may suffer right now with something that cannot be repaired. It's chronic, it's terminal. But think of this as opportunity to become a better version of yourself because challenges are given for us not to punish us, not to hurt us, although some of them could be very hurting, but they're given to us at the various levels of pain and suffering so we can recognize it's a lesson within it and at the same time have the strength, have the tools, opportunity to go through this and transform this process. So not only we don't have to go through this process again, but we also, if we correctly learn the lesson, then we liberate our lineage, our descendants so they don't have to suffer with the same stuff that our grandparents have suffered. And we can stop, even in one life, that's vicious cycle of, some people call it, you know, chronic conditions, or genetics conditions, or karma, or dharma, whatever you call it. You have the power and the opportunity and the right tools in this life to transform those challenges so you can liberate your lineage from further disasters. And I find it, it's so empowering. um, I think one time even my teacher told me, when a soul gets enlightened, even his chickens get enlightened. And for me, it was so beautiful because I said, oh my God, my doggies, my cats, like my hamster, all of them can also get enlightenment through all this dedicated work that I am choosing to go through every day. And that's just so wonderful. And Mary Lou, anything you want to say before we wrap up? Anything?
I've just I guess I'm really thrilled that I have somebody that I can speak to candidly. And if there's something not going on right or whatever, or I'm not, my thought process is corrupted or needs to be changed, or if I'm judging somebody or whatever, I can speak through this and then I go, okay, well maybe I'm not looking at this the right way. Let's change the way we think about it and try to make this better for me and for everyone else. So it's continuous work. It's a day-to-day thing. I don't think we'll ever be done until the day we're not here. So, but I want to make life better for my family, for the legacy, for everyone. I want them to have a nicer, enjoyable life and successful in all aspects. So, anything I can do to help myself and others, or others and myself, then that's what I choose to do. I mean, just yesterday there was a little boy. He was at the thrift store and he wanted a toy. And I said to the lady, "You're not going to charge him very much for that, right? He's little." And I asked him later. Said he was 5. And when she told him the price, I just gave him the money so that he could go to the counter and pay for it. And then after he was done, I had a little bit left, and I gave him some more so he'd have something for his pocket. And he was so excited. At 5 years old, he was like, "Grandma, she gave me this." And I was like, "You have a Merry Christmas." And I just like to help when it comes to stuff like that. I like to help those that can't always help themselves.
Mm. Yeah. And that's a great reminder. If you need the help, it is not shameful. It's okay to ask for the help so it does not go further and you don't prolong the suffering, because that could be finished. That could end, um, when you make a decision to reach out to ask for help. So, very important to reach out for someone you trust, resonate with, because there are lots of people out there doing similar things, um, creating similar results. Of course, it all varies, but for me, it's very important to have people results and work with people who they trust and resonate with, because then there is no resistance of doing this work together, because you become a team with the person that you work with. And personally, Mary Lou, I've helped many people around the world with various challenges in life, and it is truly my greatest honor and the opportunity to work with you. And even though we have been a client between you and I in relationship, but I feel like it's a lifelong friendship that is developing from this relationship that we have created, that started about 9 months ago. And I'm looking forward to share more life with you and have deeper conversations where we can open, non judgmental, and we can support each other to go to the next level.
Yes, I'm looking forward to a future friendship for a lifelong friendship. That's what I like. It's very hard to find for me, anyways, people that I really relate to, and or that I have things in common with, and that I don't feel like they're always judging me. Because I think that most of the time we meet people, no matter who they are, we're either judging them or they're judging us, and it's just nice to go and just take somebody face value and just listen to what they have to offer and what you have to offer to them, and move forward with your friendship and life and their experiences.
Indeed, indeed. So I hope you enjoy this interview. We'll be inviting more people, and just always know there's always hope in a hopeless situation. I know this. I had so many health challenges myself, to the point where I couldn't walk anymore. And I'm back to skiing, horseback riding, traveling, back on high heels, and enjoying my life. So I know that my hopeless situations turn to a hope and a full recovery just because I met a right person that I worked with. So I wish everyone to meet that right person who you trust, who you have no resistance to try something new that could greatly benefit your life, different aspects of your life, and wishing you to become and remain happy and healthy.
Always happy and healthy and just so full of life.